Welcome back to the Motorhome Matt podcast. Today we're going very Frenchy, très Frenchy. I'm Keith Gooden, our expert with us today. As always, the show's named after him. It's Motorhome Matt Sims.
Hello Keith, bonjour.
Bonjour, ça va?
Oui, ça va bien. Check us.
Excellent, as they say. Zut alors. Okay, so we've got three things to look at when we're driving in France. That's the case, isn't it? The first one is un critère. What is a critère?
So critère is a sticker that you put on the back of your vehicle, the car, motorhome, camper van, no matter what it is. And it classifies the filthiness of the engine. Let's call it that. So basically the emissions, and there are 6 different types of sticker, and you need to display one if you're going to drive into a selection of French cities.
And you have to have the sticker, otherwise there's a fine.
There is €135.
And that's usually in France a roadside fine as well. So you either have got the cash or a credit card on you. They will not let you go.
Nope. But they're dead easy to get. Really easy to get.
The critère, not the fine. Yeah.
Well, the fine's easy to get.
They are easy to get, and you have to have one. Otherwise, you do get a fine. And a lot of different cities have got a lot of different rules, and you need a critère for places like Paris or Chambéry, Lyon, Strasbourg, Grenoble. And that's just 4 that I've picked off the list. The list is very long, and you need to look at it if you intend visiting any of those cities. So what is it? Is it like the ULEZ zone in London, where you've got to be above diesel cat 6 in order to bring a diesel vehicle in, or is there a bit more flexibility in it?
There's a bit more flexibility in that. So you can be Euro 2 and enter these cities, and you'll end up with a sticker. It has a 5 on it. Most motorhomes are going to carry the Euro 2, Euro 3, the sticker number 2 or sticker number 3, but the classifications are all on the website where you apply for it. You only have to apply once. You put the sticker on the back and it exists for the life of the vehicle. Unlike a ULEZ where you pay a charge every time you enter, this is a one-off fee, and the cost is a massive €3.11.
Now, hang on. I've heard that this company is offering to get one for me for €100. How does that work?
Yeah, that's true. Well, they're often referred to as scammers. I'm not sure they're scamming, but they're charging a big fee to do this for you, and you can do it yourself. It's dead easy. There's a postage charge of €1.40 at the time we record this. That's what it is. And so for just €4.51, you can get the critère for your vehicle. You go online onto the French government website, enter the details of the vehicle. It will tell you what your Euro rating is, and it will apply the right sticker, and they'll put it in the post to you.
And then you'll have that critère sticker on the back of your car. And when you enter some of these cities, it will say what critère sticker they will allow in or not.
Correct. Yeah.
So there's 6 different classifications. As Matt says, it's got more flexibility than some of the systems we run in this country. The lowest one, the greenest one, is green and is zero, and is for electric cars or motorhomes or vehicles. Now, I haven't seen many electric motorhomes on
they're
the road.
Still very, very, very new as we record this, and very expensive. So I don't think we're going to find many motorhomes wanting one of those.
So a standard motorhome, like you're hiring out, or people are buying, what critère would that fall into?
Probably number 2, sticker number 2. It's going to be led by the Euro rating of the engine, so it's going to be Euro 5, Euro 6. It could be sticker number 3, which would be Euro 4, so that's going to be a 2010 type aged vehicle. But the thing to do is to type the VIN number and the registration into the website when you apply for it, and the diesel and the fuel type, and they'll give you the right sticker.
But you have to be aware, if you go into a city such as Paris and you haven't got, if they say you're restricted, unless you've got the critère that they specify, you're still going to get fined. It's a classification, isn't it, of your vehicle? It's not carte blanche, as they say in France. Okay, so that's the critère. Anything else we need to add on that one?
The only bit of information I'd add is where to get them. So it's a really simple website to go. It's certificat without -air.gouv.fr. We'll put the link in the show notes.
Yeah, remember it's a French website. If it's .fr, like it's .co.uk over here. Interesting story about .co.uk. .uk is Ukraine. That's why we're .co.uk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there you go. I learned that many, many years ago when I was working in Hungary.
That's interesting. It was only a few years ago that .uk became available.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Ukraine's got it. What else? Number 2 on the list for driving in France.
ACSI card. So we did a podcast episode recently with my friends Paul and Michelle, who are living in their motorhome in retirement. And I was kind of heartbroken, really, because they got to France and knew nothing about the ACSI card, ACSI. And I wish I'd chatted to them about it, because it's transformed their experience. They discovered this once they got there. And what the ACSI card does is it gives you up to 9,000 campsites, depending on which membership you buy, but it gives you access to a huge amount of campsites where you can get them for discounted rates off-peak.
And they are quite large discounts, aren't they?
Yeah, they're staying on a campsite with a swimming pool, 100 metres from the sea, and it's €18 a night.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So do you have to buy these in advance, or can you buy them when you just roll up to a campsite?
You buy them online. So it's €16.95 or £12.95 for 2022. That's the price this year. And there are 3 levels of ACSI card membership, which stands for Auto Camper Service International.
Who knew?
I didn't, and I had to Google it very hard to find out. It's actually a Danish company that started ACSI. And I contacted them actually and said, what does ACSI actually stand for? So it's, Dutch origins. So Euro Campings gives you access to the 9,000 sites, all of which have an annual inspection. So you know the sites are going to be as described, and they're going to be a very high standard. There's no discounts, but you get access to use the ACSI app. And you do it on a smartphone or on a web page. But the app is brilliant. It's really good.
And does the app guide you when you're on the road as well?
It does. You can link to a sat-nav and take you there. And then there's the Campsite Euro app, which gives you the 9,000 sites and the app, and access to motorhome pitches, or they're often referred to as airs. So these are car parks, if you like, which are geared up for motorhomes and camper vans, not caravans. And they're referred to in France as airs, and they are often fantastic in areas of outstanding natural beauty, with super views, and the airs are slowly starting to appear in this country, in the UK, pub car parks. That's kind of an air, if you like. And in that version of the app, that level of membership, there's a search and save facility, which is really useful. So if you've been to a campsite, this was great, I'd like to go again, you can save it and reference back to it. And then there's Camping Card ACSI, which gives you off-peak access, and it's a guidebook and the app. So they will send you an envelope, a big envelope, brown envelope, with the guidebook in, so you can flick through over a nice cold wine or cold lager one evening and look at your campsites. And it is lovely flicking through the book, I have to say. The app is great, but it's definitely worth, I think, getting the Camping Card ACSI membership, which is the $12.95 membership. Definitely worth having. The key with this is the membership runs January to December. So if you buy it in October, you're going to have to buy it again in January.
Ah, so it's not 12-month rolling.
No.
Yeah, it's January to December.
It's
so buy in January.
Yeah. Ask for it for a Christmas present and go and buy it in January. Yeah. I mean, it's not an expensive thing, but you'll save the money in 2 nights.
So we've got our Critère and we have our ACSI card as well. There was little bits on top of this, just the standard ACSI card that you recommended. It is the Euro Camping, and there's something else, isn't there?
There's a motorhome pack. It's €32, $32.95, but it's not in English. It's really good, but for some reason it's only in German, French, and Dutch.
Ah.
So I haven't never bought one, so I don't know. I've never seen one.
Well, like most Brits, we probably don't speak a second language.
We don't.
However, most Germans and Dutch do. The French, they're like us.
No.
As far as they're concerned, there's one language and it's not English. Okay.
So you can buy your ACSI membership, webshop.axi.eu. Dead easy.
Fantastic. What's the third thing on our list when we go motorhoming in France?
This applies if you've got refillable gas tanks. Now, if a motorhome in the UK will have Cala gas bottles, those bottles are not going to work on the continent. Well, they'll work, but you can't replace them. And if you go and want to swap them like you do here in the UK, the camping shop are going to say, no, they're not going to take them. You're going to have to change.
What are they going to say?
No.
Oh.
No, sir. So
no gases here.
No gases here. Ici.
Mm.
Cut this bit, will you?
No gases ici.
Very good. I'm almost convinced. It's almost Del Boy. So you're going to have to end up, if you're going to swap bottles when you're over there, you're going to end up with a German one, you're going to end up with a French one. It's going to be a nightmare. You're going to end up with a collection of regulators. It's going to be very expensive. The answer is definitely a refillable gas bottle. There's lots of brands. We've talked about them before. But to refill the bottles, you're going to go to a fuel station and get to the auto gas refill point. But you need a set of adapters. There are 3. There's one for Germany, Austria, Belgium, and IRA. What do we call it?
ERA.
ERA.
The Republic of Ireland.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go with that.
Where is it?
It's him confusing me. Norfolk. So there's one for Germany, Austria, Belgium, and the Republic of Ireland. What do you call it?
ERA.
ERA. Yeah. There's one for France, and then there's a third one, a different
I call that
one.
France, by the way.
Very good. And one for Spanish and Italy. Or the Spanish one, Spain.
España. And Italia.
You're very European.
Thank you.
So there's 3 adapters which you'll need to fit onto your refill point. And they're not expensive. They're literally a few pounds. Most camp shops sell them. Brands like Gaslow with a W on the end, they sell them on their website as well. But they are must-haves. A refillable gas bottle system is going to cost you £500 to £1,000, but it's a must-have if you're going to go and travel France for an extended period of time where you need gas.
You cannot use your British gas bottles. Well, you could, as you said, you can use them, but once they run out, you're not going to get them refilled. They say no gases ici, and it's going to cost you up to £1,000. That's a lot of money
to fit the refillable system. Yes, and make sure you order the adapters, and then when you're over in France, you've got everything you need, or you're in Germany or in Belgium. And it's getting the right refillable bottle. In Belgium, for example, I know you're not allowed to remove the bottle from the van and refill that like you would a fuel can outside of the vehicle. You have to plug their refillable pipe onto the motorhome, and so you need the Belgium adapter to do that, and the bottles must be fixed inside the gas cupboard. Now, those bottles can be used in the UK as well, because there are refill points over here too. Auto gas, I mean, they are slowly disappearing, it has to be said. You know, the days of buying a 3-litre V8 engined car and having a gas conversion are gone. I mean, nobody's doing that anymore. And so the auto gas refill points are starting to disappear. Motorhome dealerships, I know Brown Hills recently installed a refill system at their dealership, which is a great idea. So you might start to see our industry responding to that. We'll see what happens. But you can run one refillable bottle and a normal Cala bottle. You could do that, use the Cala in the UK, and when you're on the continent, you could use the refillable. But the little adapter kit's essential.
So, Matt, how much do these adapters cost?
They vary in price between £14 and £25, depending where you get them.
And depending on where you're going.
And where you're going,
yeah. Absolutely. So that's the 3 things to be aware of when you're going motorhoming, either on the continent or more specifically en français. First of all, the critères, which tells people in France, and also you really, which classification your emissions fall into and where therefore you can drive your motorhome when
Correct.
you're there. Secondly, we were talking about the
ACSI card membership.
That was the one with the enhanced memberships as well, with the app and also the motorhome package.
And I mean, if your plan is just to spend time in airs, so you're just going to busk it and spend time. Airs are often free. Sometimes they're €10, but there's no facilities. I mean, you might have fresh water and the ability to empty your toilet, but there's nothing else there. You're not allowed to get your awning out, the sun canopy out. You're not allowed to put outdoor furniture out. It's literally a stopover. I know lots of people that have their entire travel holidays in airs, and that's it. But if you want to go to a campsite, my friends Paul and Michelle, you can hear that episode with them. They're on a campsite with a pool, so that's an ACSI registered campsite. So if you can mix it up, of course, but the beauty is ACSI just promotes and gives you access to, it's over 9,000 campsites, a huge plethora of campsites all across Europe, and for a knockdown price often, and huge amounts of facilities out of season. So peak season, you can't get a discount, and you'd be paying the rack rate for the campsite.
But the ACSI card in the peak season, it's a bargain, according to Motorhome, Matt. And finally, we were talking about the gas, and we've talked about this before, how there's different standards across different European countries, and you can use your bottled gas here, but you can't use it abroad. And you can buy adapters as well from Motorhome, Matt, and other outlets. Not so good, it must be added.
From our shop.
Between £14 and £25. So that's the 3 things that we've covered. Hopefully that's been some help for you. If you need any more info, then it's the socials, Matt.
It is indeed. You can get in touch with us straight to motorhomematt.co.uk/ask Matt. We would love to hear from you. So this episode's been inspired by listeners who've had questions, and you can go and record your question and submit it to us. It's really easy to do. You can also fill out a form with your question if you're not brave enough to record yourself, and submit it on the form on that page. You can also get in touch via Facebook and Instagram. Instagram, we are motorhomematt.co.uk, and on Facebook, we're just Motorhome Matt.
And we're, of course, on YouTube as well.
We are Motorhome Matt. Make sure you hit subscribe and ring that little bell, and then YouTube can tell you when we've got a new episode out to watch.
Ring-a-ding-ding.